I saw a truly disturbing video recently, so naturally, I have to tell you all about it. Because it involved a ritual that any normal person would say is harmful. But because it's religious, some people seem to be looking the other way. And unlike most of my videos, this one has nothing to do with Christianity. I won't play the video for you here because, well, it's not good for your soul. But here's the gist of it. You see an 8-year-old girl from India having her hair ripped out, clump by clump, strand by strand. She doesn't scream. She doesn't even really flinch. She's just sitting there quietly, hoping to prove she's indifferent to pain. Let me say that again, because it's insane. She's 8 and entering the priesthood, and doing so by participating in a ritual that is painful to even watch. As it happens, that girl is part of the Jain religion, Jain, which also happens to be the religion in which I was raised. So while this video strikes me as weird, even within the realm of Jainism, it's also not totally out of the question. I remember hearing a story when I was a child about how one of our ancient prophets, if you will, was bitten on the toe by a snake. And not only did he just accept that, because pain did not faze him, milk came out of his body instead of blood. Because it's a religion and it's all made up. What was the point of that story? I don't know. Needless to say, I became an atheist before I got the answer. Anyway, who is this girl and what is she doing? As the story goes, she began studying the religion during the pandemic after being inspired by her aunt. She's now taking it to the next level by becoming a nun. That means taking a vow, known as Diksha, giving up worldly possessions, including, by the way, her own family, and living essentially as a nomad, never staying in any one place for more than a couple of weeks, because your needs will always be met by other people. I remember witnessing that growing up. Different families in our community would offer to take in priests and nuns at their homes for short periods of time. They would feed them and give them a bed, and it all seemed very generous and kind. But also, none of them were kids. So what does this girl's family think about all this? Well, they're egging her on, speaking about her decision with pride. Her father told a reporter she was tested by her gurus and they found her eligible to become a monk. She spent nearly 2 years with monks and will now live her life in monkhood. She refused mobile phones, precious gifts, and clothes. She sat on a 9-day fast with a demand for Diksha about 5 months ago. My aunt took Diksha in the past, and she is the inspiration for Anji. My entire family feels proud that a girl from our family is renouncing the materialistic world. It should go without saying that is crazy talk. If your religious leaders ever tell you, your 8-year-old girl spent 2 years with us, and now we want to keep her forever, get the hell out of that religion. If your religion teaches you that withholding food from a child for over a week is okay, get the hell out of that religion. It doesn't matter if she seemed fine with it. She's 8. She doesn't get to make those decisions. Listen, if she wants to ruin her life as an adult, get in line. But if your religion thinks a child can make lifelong decisions, it's wrong. I don't care if it's a kid who says I'm going to become a nun in 3rd grade or a 13-year-old who gets baptized. Do you know what I said I wanted to be when I grew up when I was 8? No clue. But you should not have taken me seriously no matter what I said. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up right now. And if I say YouTube will be my job, I expect all of you to come to my house and knock some sense into me. My point is, If your faith is too afraid of letting people make consequential decisions regarding it only after they're legal adults, there's something wrong with it. There's absolutely no reason this girl couldn't explore Jainism for years to come before making a better informed decision later in life. And at that point, if she wants to do all this, okay, it's her life, and at that point my opinion would not matter. Side note, I am not impressed that an 8-year-old says she doesn't need her phone. Find me an 18-year-old who says that, and then maybe I will take it seriously. No child should become a nun, and no family should be encouraging it. And yet a lot of news coverage treated most of this as perfectly normal. The hair-ripping ritual might be bizarre, yes, but there was considerably less outrage online about the 9-day fast, or the fact that a child committed to the priesthood. The Times of India, for example, rehashed the family's biography, but only highlighted the support she was receiving. This is how they framed her decision. On Sunday, the girl from Ahmedabad will renounce the materialistic world and walk the path of monkhood at a ceremony in Surat. She is believed to be one of the youngest to take Diksha. Anji has studied up to class 2. She started living with Jain monks during the COVID-induced lockdown when her school remained closed. During this period, Anji was inspired by the disciplined lifestyle of monks who lead a life within a set of strict rules and principles. There is no statement from anyone criticizing this move. What's especially disturbing about this whole charade is that Jainism is widely considered to be one of the least problematic religions in the world, even among atheists. That's because Jainism preaches nonviolence, known as ahimsa, and non-possessiveness, and the value of truth. And those are pretty amazing things to build a religion around. As Sam Harris wrote years ago in The End of Faith, even as he was trashing other religions, a rise of Jain fundamentalism would endanger no one. In fact, the uncontrollable spread of Jainism throughout the world would improve our situation immensely. He was wrong. Extreme Jainism can be harmful, if not to the rest of the world, then at least to its most devout adherents. A few years ago, it was reported that a 13-year-old Jain girl died after fasting for 68 days. She had allegedly completed a 41-day fast prior to that. While I can't verify those details, and while they strike me as strange even within the Jain world, no doubt fasting at a young age, which is widely encouraged in Jain communities, can wreak enormous damage on a child's physical health. At least in my own circles, people fast fairly regularly. Or maybe, like members of my own family, they just eat once a day during certain times of the year. Now, during the holiest time of the year, many people go more than a week without real solid food. Those are not monks and nuns either. Those are just standard run-of-the-mill believers. The thinking is that fasting purifies your body and mind. And I suppose there's a grim truth to that. Because when you're dead, there's nothing corrupting either one. But it is very ironic that a religion known for not killing animals would inflict such cruelty upon a child. If her family announced she was getting married at age 8, we would all call that outrageous no matter how much she claimed to love the other person or how committed she was to the relationship. But when she announces she's becoming a nun, everyone's just fine with it? Why? How is that any different? She's a kid. What does she know? Becoming a nun in this case is not just a theoretical decision either, as we can see from the video. Plucking out her hair as a way to prove she's not bothered by physical pain is a form of torture. That's all this ritual is about. It is about creating an unnecessarily painful situation that people are just supposed to accept. It's a jackass stunt with holy approval. Just because it's happening in a faith-based context doesn't make it any more reasonable. Religious delusions are still delusions. It is deeply unethical for her family and friends and religious leaders to go along with this abuse. And yet, instead of them being punished for this, they held a religious ceremony in her honor. There is nothing admirable or honorable about a child who's convinced she's making the right decision because no one in her life has the courage to pull her away from it. It is one thing to raise a child under Jain principles. That might be fine. I mean, I was. A lot of those principles are very easy to defend. But when those values lead to making irrational decisions that will affect her life and cause literal physical pain, whether she shows it on her face or not, responsible adults need to step in and help her. The fact that that didn't happen says a lot about the power of religion, any religion, to warp people's ethics.